Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming by and hanging out. So, what I want to talk about today is helping good people to help themselves. And what do I mean by that? Well, I hang out in a lot of chats, watching YouTube videos with certain people in them, and I see in the chat a lot where people are talking about they don't have money, or in the case of some people we know, they are begging and grifting to try to raise money for a family that doesn't have money. So I see a lot of that in the chats. And so I started thinking, well, what makes people find themselves in a financial situation where it becomes hard to work their way out of that situation? Because everybody wants to do better as a whole. Nobody really wants to live that life. That's a rough life, not having any money, being behind on your bills. It's a tough way to live. Nobody wants that. So the reason why people find themselves in that position a lot of times is just because they lack the tools. They lack the knowledge of how to work your way out of a situation like that. And why is that? Well, that's because of the public education system in our country. I remember when I was in school, in high school, you figure that they would teach you some form of economics, right? Give you some form of financial literacy, but they really don't. I remember the only things I learned in high school about financial literacy from the school, from the government, is pay your taxes and how to fill out a check. We had a class on that, how to open a checking account and fill out a check. But that was about it. That's all they really taught us in school about being financially responsible. So let's say you do find yourself in a situation where you've made a mistake, uh, or just something tragic happened, that big change in your life, and now you're strapped. What can you do to work your way out of that situation? I really hope that my chat is on. If anybody's in here, can they type something in chat just so I can make sure that my chat is working correctly? That'd be awesome. So, okay. So now the person's found themselves in this situation. Well, what can you do? Now, there's varying levels of bad situations. And we can start out at the absolute worst level in my opinion, one of the worst levels anyway, that you can find yourself in. And that would be having a medical emergency, something bad happening to you physically, if through no fault of your own. You get hit by a car walking across the street, and it's the other person's fault, and they hit and run. So it's not like you're going to have a lawsuit and get money from a lawsuit. So you're out now. Maybe you've lost your job. Uh, you're suffering physically, so it's going to be hard for you to find work. What do you do? Well, you're going to have to kind of break down your life and what you're doing, and what skills do you have as a person, right? What can you bring to the table? Now, everybody has a skill. I mean, something you can do a little bit better than everybody else, or something you're just good at doing, and you're not better than anybody else, but you're just okay, you can do it. Like typing, for instance. A lot of people can spell good and they can type good. There are tons of jobs online that you can get from home as long as you have a laptop and an internet connection where you can type from home. Uh, you can do subtitles and all kinds of stuff, transcripts. I mean, it's just a multitude of things you can do if you can type and you can spell. Okay. But there are also all kinds of other jobs you can do online, and there are plenty of resources to help find jobs. So when people are in the chat, if they're having a specific problem or something like that that I can help them with, I'll be more than happy to do that. But all right, so going on with that is, where was I going with that? uh okay, so other jobs that you can do online, right? Or other things you can do is selling things online. Let's say you're an arts and crafts type person. Can you sell a product online through Facebook Marketplace, or can you sell a product through Pinterest? Pinterest, yeah, Pinterest. That's what it's called. So, like, an idea for something you could sell on Pinterest would be to go on Google and look at images on Google. You can filter and find the free images that don't have like a copyright attached to them. So anybody can download and use those pictures, right? And you download those pictures. And like a really good one would be maps. People love maps, right? So you download those pictures and then you print them out on paper and then you frame those maps or images, beautiful mountain images that you find online, or you can take yourself. But anyway, you just frame them and then you can sell something like that on Pinterest and make yourself some extra cash. If you're able to drive, there's always side gigs now. So you can get a job like working for Pizza Hut or Papa John's. Now, I was an electrician, but I started out as just a helper for a company. And what I had to do was deliver pizza at night for extra money. And I used to do it every day of the week. So I'd go to work, my regular job that was from 7 a.m. to 2:30 in the afternoon. And then I'd go in at night and work at Papa John's on the evening shift, delivering pizzas. Now that was a pretty good gig. At the time anyway, at my age and everything, that was a pretty good gig. For one, the pizza shop let us take home a pizza anytime we wanted. So every night you could take home a pizza at the end of your shift. So that was kind of cool. I always had guaranteed food. And then, I in a night I could make like $30 or $40 in tips, and that was just cash. So my paycheck as an electrician went to pay for all my bills, but then any kind of spending money or fun money, going out money, was the cash that I made delivering pizzas. So if you don't have a full-time job though, a gig job is a good way to go, right? If you feel comfortable letting other people in your car, you can get a job for Uber or something like that, making money. So there are plenty of ways to make money, right? Now, let's say you don't have a marketable skill. You feel that you do not have a marketable skill. You can't type. You can't drive. Physical condition keeps you from driving because that happens. People, for whatever reason, get injured, they can't drive anymore, or their just health or their age has gotten to the point where they can't drive anymore. Well, what can you do at that point? And you really literally feel that you have no other skill. Well, there are tons of ways to make free money online that anybody can do. There are programs where you can have your computer watch videos if you're in the room or not. So you can just let these things run on a laptop. You can let these things run on your cell phone, and your device will watch the videos. If you're watching them or not, it'll watch them, and you actually earn cash just for doing that. So you could set your cell phone up at nighttime to watch videos for you, and you could be earning money on these sites while you sleep. It's literal passive income. Anybody can do it as long as you have an internet connection one way or another and a device that you can do this on. And that could be something as simple as a cell phone or a tablet. It'll work on any one of these things, right? So you go to one of these sites and you have it watch the videos for you, and then it turns into cash one way or another. A lot of them pay in cryptocurrencies, but some of them do pay in cash and will let you upload that money to your PayPal account, let's say. Okay. So you have that option. So there are just so many ways to make money online these days that anybody can do it. Literally anybody. So then you get into something like that, right? So then what do you do with that money? What you want to do with that money is invest that money and let that money make money for you. That is the best way to go. Have a completely passive income where you make money no matter what you do. If you're awake, you're making money. If you're asleep, you're making money. Hold on, I just had to turn something on real quick. So I'm sorry. I had to check something real quick. Anyway, what do you do with that money? You invest that money and you make that money make money for you. Passive income is the way to go. Okay. So let me give you an example as to what I did. Okay. Because I found myself in that situation. I was an electrician, a master electrician, and I worked for the state that I lived in. I was a senior electrician for the state. I had worked there for 11 years when I had my heart attack. So after my heart attack, my blood pressure got very out of control and they were having problems controlling it. And it's hard to describe what that does to you, but it makes it where you feel kind of drunk all the time. Your brain is wishy-washy. It's hard to focus. You feel like you're going to pass out. It's not a good thing to have out of control blood pressure. So that led to a lot of problems for me. I couldn't work. There's no way I could sit there and concentrate on a job while I felt like I was going to pass out and fall out of my chair every 15, 20 minutes. So that's what got me into looking into ways that I could make money online. And I found these things. Well, all right, let me start with the first thing I actually found was this one website where you could answer surveys and watch videos and play games, and you made money doing it. And at the time, like I literally lost everything I had. 100%. I lost everything I had with my health condition. And I'm not really the kind of guy that wants to go to the government and ask for a handout. Uh, that's fine for some people, and a lot of people need it. And if you need it, by all means, that's what it's there for. It's for people that really seriously need it. But I like to work my own way out of situations. I don't like to rely on people, especially not the government. In my case, this is the way I feel. Not the way I'm telling you should feel, but the way I feel. So I do not trust the government. Plus, then you get yourself into the situation where people are like, oh, well, you gotta vote for these people because if you don't, the other people aren't going to have your best interest at heart. And I don't want to feel like I'm beholden to anybody, especially not a political party, right? I'm beholden to you so that you can give me this little bit of pittance, because that's what it is. I've so many friends that have been on disability or uh, when they don't work and they get, extra money. I know people like that have had to go to that. And it's horrible. I'm sorry, I coughed. It's horrible what they make those people go through just to get that little bit of extra help. But not only what they have to go through to get it, but what they have to go through to keep it. It's ridiculous. The hoops that the people have to jump through for that stuff. And it just didn't work for me. I didn't want that. So I figured, I can do it myself. So luckily, I am an electrician. So I have friends that have little small jobs that I could do that would let me, come out and do jobs for them. And I had people that actually just paid me to draw out plans for their house to rebuild or to redo the electric in their house, and get plans ready for them to submit and things like that, and then to help them with the job itself. All right, excuse me, I had a cough. Hopefully you guys didn't hear that. Sorry, a little bit of a coughing attack there. Oh, so all right, where was I? I'm sorry. Oh, so like I said, I didn't want to take any money from the government because then, like I said, you're beholden to them. They can tell you what you can and can't do. Anytime you accept help from the government, you're going to end up giving up some of your liberties to keep it. Hold on one second, guys. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm back. So, what I did was I looked for what, other than doing electrical work for friends and stuff like that, I looked for other ways that I could make money online. And I found this website called Swagbucks. And what you do on that site is you answer surveys and you watch videos, or you can watch videos. And what else do they got on there? You can play games even. They have games that you can play and earn money playing games. So you do these things and then you turn in your points that you make for cash. Now you can get cash a couple different ways. You can have it sent to your PayPal account, or you can get it in a gift card, and it's a gift card that they'll send you the code for over the internet on your computer in an email. So you can use that money then to buy food or whatever. It's just extra cash, or it's cash you didn't have. So even if you have a job that you work and you just don't make enough money and you'd like a little extra. Sorry, I didn't realize how dry this would make my voice. Oh, goodness. All right. Sorry, I'm back. And this time I found an actual mute button. So, anyway, as I was saying, uh, I found that site, Swagbucks, and I used it for. I used it for a couple of years, and Yeah, talking will. It makes your voice very dry, your throat very dry. I even have a thing of water here, but I guess I wasn't drinking it. Oh my goodness. Not enough anyway. So I found that site Swagbucks, and I used it for a while, and I made hundreds of dollars using it. And then I decided to look around for something else, and I found these things called crypto faucets. And what a crypto faucet is, it's a website that you can go to, and they will give you free cryptocurrency just for hitting a button. Now, a lot of those sites, uh, you don't get very much, right? It's dust, is what we call it. It's just a little bit of crypto, but you store up that crypto. And that's the thing about dust, it adds up. Anybody with a house will tell you that. So dust adds up. So what you want to do is get on these sites, these faucet sites, and you just start collecting these little bits of cryptocurrency. And then you can sell those for cash. So that's the thing that people don't understand about cryptocurrency is it's cash. It's a currency just like the US dollar or any other currency. It's sold for cash. Now it goes up and down, it fluctuates in price, but it's still cash. It's a fiat currency, just like any other fiat currency. So you can tie your crypto accounts to your banking accounts and use that money just like I said, just like cash. Hold on, excuse me. All right, sorry, I'm back. So you can then take these cryptocurrencies and put them on a credit card, a Visa card, prepaid Visa card, and use it anywhere Visa is accepted. So, like I say, there are a ton of ways to make money for free online. I am the master of it. I promise you that. I've been doing it now for probably 4 years. And I've made enough money to not only pay my bills, but be able to invest it. Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's what I think I'm gonna have to do is get some halls or something because it really does. It just drives my throat right out after talking for a bit. But anyway, so are there any questions yet about anything I discussed? Anybody? I'll give you a minute because I know there's a delay. All right. So, um, inbox dollars. Yeah, I've tried inbox dollars. I don't think there's any of those that I haven't tried, to be honest with you. I, like I said, I've been doing it for 4 years. At one point, I had 20 different crypto faucets going at one time. So every hour, I was going to 20 different websites and collecting money. It was crazy. So, uh, there are, let's see, yeah, there's just so many of those different sites. So you know what I'm talking about, Donna. You go to those sites, you make that little bit of extra cash, and then you squirrel it away. Either you spend it or you can take it and invest it. I made I had a friend that I helped out with this. She was on disability, and so she got a little bit of a check, but not much of one. And she just wanted to have some extra walking around cash. So I showed her about swag bucks, and she was making $80 a week on swag bucks. Oh, how do I have the time? Well, like I said, my health got so bad that I was pretty well stuck at home. I couldn't drive anymore. There was nothing I could do. So I had nothing but time on my hands. And it was either play video games and completely waste the day away or find ways to earn money online, which is what I chose to do. So, like I said, I started out with simple stuff that was real easy to find out about, like swag bucks and all those little things like that. And then a friend of mine introduced me to cryptocurrency, and he was like, "Yeah, well," and I mean, this was before, back when Bitcoin was only at like $15,000 a coin, is when I started messing with it. And a friend of mine, a good buddy of mine, said, he was the one that showed me the way with it. He was the one that explained to me what it was and how it could be spent just like cash. You spend cash, you spend crypto the same exact way. So that's what got me into the faucets. And let me tell you what happened. So then I learned how to mine crypto as well with my computer. So I mine crypto. And this really cheap junky coin came out called Shiba Inu. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool, Shiba Inu. And I was like, let me mine it because, excuse me. So it was really cheap. And I was able to mine it. I mined 34 million of them with my computer. And then I just put them in my wallet, my crypto wallet, and held on to them. And I was always hoping they would do something, but I kind of doubted it because, I had 34 million of them. So what are the chances that anything good's going to happen? And then lo and behold, I ended up making a 33,000% profit on it in about 2 years' time. So from 2 years' time, I made a 33,000% profit with the coin. And then I was able to take that money, cash it out, and invest that in ETFs and into REITs, real estate investment trust, and then common stocks. Yeah. Yep. So that is kind of the power of crypto and what you can do with crypto once you get it. And like I said, you can get it for free. There is no reason not to get it. You're just leaving money sitting on the table if you're not getting it, because that's what I do. There's been days or times where I've stayed awake for 24 hours straight just to make sure I could hit the buttons. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get some more water. Ah, nice. That water hit the spot. So, anyway, like I said, then I took that money and I threw it into ETFs that pay dividends. And then I have those dividends just roll back into the stock. So I'm compounding my interest on it, basically. So now my ETFs grow bigger and bigger and bigger on their own. Oh, yeah. It is definitely worth it. That's for sure. Oh, excuse me. So, as I was saying, if I could even talk anymore, holy crud. Gosh, I'm gonna have to start practicing this talking thing. I don't do it enough, I guess. Yeah, I don't usually talk at all. So that's probably why my vocal cords are like, shut up. Oh, good Lord. So, uh, that's the best way to live is with a passive income. That's for sure. Uh, that's the way I like to live. I like to know that no matter what I do, that money's going to be hitting my account every 4 months. Ugh. So, excuse me. So once you once you get something like that in place, it just grows on itself. It's a snowball situation where it's like a snowball going down a hill. And it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Oh yeah. Yep. Of course I still do it. I'm not leaving that money sitting on the table. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing some videos, and I'm going to highlight some of the sites that I use to collect crypto if people would be interested in that. And geez, nah, I think hopefully I've got it straightened out now. Jeez, I think I swallowed some water the wrong way trying to get it down, trying to save myself there. But anyway, I feel a little bit better now. But yeah, so what I wanted to do was maybe make some videos, show you guys how to access these websites, how to set up a crypto banking account, and things like that. So, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll get those rolling. Let's see. You asked me what the best crypto was. Is that what your question was, Donna? Yeah, picking the right cryptocurrency. That's really hard to say which one. That's a personal thing. I can tell you what the market says. The best site in general. Uh, I tell you what. Let me. What I'll do is I'll do a video tomorrow, and I will. I'll show you a site. Yep. Yep. I'll show you a site tomorrow. See, that's the thing. A lot of people don't realize the power of cryptocurrency, and you can get something tomorrow for pennies or pennies on a dollar, right? And in a year's time, that same thing that you paid pennies for can easily be worth, 5, $6 a piece. So, people just don't understand how much power that gives you. That's the working. Imagine being the first person to be able to buy stocks back when the stock market first came out. Well, now everybody's pretty much in that position. You're in the very beginning of the cryptocurrency market. And if you get in now, you're ahead of 99% of the world population. And you're right in the beginning of the movement because it's going to happen. Crypto is being adopted faster than cell phones were adopted, and it's being adopted quicker than the internet was adopted. So that's, the rate of adoption on crypto is actually pretty high. But even then, only 1% of people in the world have ever bought cryptocurrency of any kind. Yeah, I'm gonna start at same time tomorrow, right after, right around noon. Hopefully, when Georgie and Coop are finishing up their stream, I'm gonna start mine, and I'll probably go for an hour. That's what I imagine, and work on my voice here, talk some more. I'll just have to sit here in my room and talk to myself and get my voice back to the way it used to be when I used to ramble all day long and work and talk to people constantly. I just don't do it anymore. There's no reason. I talk to myself, and then everybody's like, that guy's crazy. He's always talking to himself. I'm like, yeah, I'm a little nuts. So I try not to talk to myself, but I'm going to have to do more of that, obviously, because my voice is just like, what the hell are you doing, bro? What were you thinking? So there's a bunch of things that I want to teach on this channel. Crypto is one of them, and regular finance is the other, because you really need them to work with each other. Like, you don't want just crypto. You really don't want just crypto. But you also don't just want the stock market either. Because if you're oversaturated in any market, you stand a chance if something bad happens to that market, you're just in trouble. And even then, like when you're in the market, ETF, that stands for exchange traded fund. There are many out there. Some are way better than others. But when you get ETFs, you don't even want the same type of ETFs. You want some in the medical industry, some in real estate. You want to move them around like that. You don't want everything in one basket. Because that way you kind of protect yourself from economic downturns. So, I want to discuss stuff like that. And then anything I tell you guys, I'm never going to tell you to buy any certain crypto. I'm never going to tell you to buy any certain stock. I am not a financial expert by any stretch of the imagination. So don't do anything that I say without doing your own due diligence and research on the topic. I will absolutely never lead you astray on purpose, but I am only human. And like I said, I don't have a degree in this stuff. I'm just an enthusiast. I'm somebody that found myself in a very bad situation and figured I had to find a way out of it. And that's what I did. So, what I'm going to tell you guys is what worked for me, and hopefully it'll work for you. I really do hope so, because that's what we're here for. And if there's other problems that people have that may not be financial, might be with other aspects of their life, if you want to run that past me, maybe we can help with that too. And we can definitely, if not help you, point you in the right direction to get good resources to help yourself and get out of your situation. So let's see, we got about 15 minutes to go. I have experience in being an electrician, and I have experience just personal in finance. So the only experience I have is my own personal experience with crypto and financing. And I'm not sure I haven't made mistakes yet that I just don't know about. Let's put it that way. I can honestly say that everybody else that's in the markets right now is complaining about, how much money they've lost and so on and so forth. I mean, I haven't lost anything. I've gained. So if you're losing money, you might be doing it wrong. That's all I'm saying. But I mean, I don't even mean that. May not be you're doing it wrong. You're doing it right, but you're just in the wrong period of time, wrong market conditions to do what you want to do. But so that's the only experience I have is what works for me. And like I said, I'm never going to impose my will or anything like that on anybody. I always tell people, do your own research. You know, you have to look out for yourself because nobody else is going to look out for you. And darn sure do not trust people on like MSNBC or CNN when it comes to financial stuff, because let me tell you what they do. They love to use those programs to manipulate the markets. They'll put on there some kind of money marketing account that they want everybody to invest in. And then when they drive the price up, they dump it. They manipulate the market. And then you're the one that loses money and they're the ones that make money. It's a scam. So be really cautious on who you listen to. I'm not involved in any cryptocurrency. I don't work for any cryptocurrency money company. I don't get paid by anybody, so my opinions are all my own. So I will tell you the truth to the best of my knowledge. Yeah, making mistakes is definitely how you learn. I have learned from small mistakes I made, but I haven't been really beat up by anybody yet. So another thing you can do with cryptocurrency is peer-to-peer lending, basically, right? And it's you have to realize though it's unsecured peer-to-peer lending, so you're not guaranteed you're going to get your money back. That's one thing that you should always be cautious with crypto. There's a saying: if it's not your keys, it's not your cash. And what that refers to is when you open a private account for crypto, a truly private account, they give you what's called a it's a passphrase basically, and it's 12 random words strung together. And if you don't have that key, if you weren't given a key like that when you open an account, then it is not your private account. That means somebody's managing it. So you might have money on an account like crypto.com or Coinbase. If they get hacked and your money gets gone, it gets stolen. Your money is gone. They don't have FDIC insurance that protects you up to $250,000. They just don't have it. So uh, you have to be really careful about that. Remember that. If it's not your keys, it is not your cash. It is their cash. They could steal it from you. Somebody else could steal it from you. So you got to be really careful with that. First thing you ever do when you start with cryptocurrency is download a wallet. Or you can buy a wallet for like $60 online. But even then, make sure you buy the wallet from the company. Never buy a crypto wallet from Amazon. Never ever do that. Or any other secondhand retailer. If you want a Tether wallet, you go to Tether and buy one from them. And I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I was on a little bio break, but I'm back. So, all right. What should we discuss? Let's see. You know what? Let me do something here. Wait. Yeah. Do that. Huh. How do I do that? Wait. Yep. That's the way it happens. Let's replace it with that. Okay. There we go. All right. So I guess we can look at some cryptocurrency prices. Can you guys see that? My screen? It's kind of small. Eh, it's not even really good. Not even really good. When you can't see it, really, is it? All right. So you were asking what's the best cryptocurrency? Or oh no, that's right. You were asking what the best site was. Yeah. We're gonna discuss that tomorrow. But the best cryptocurrencies currently are by market cap. You got Bitcoin that's selling at $101,000 per coin. So imagine if you were one of those lucky people that got in on Bitcoin when it was selling for pennies. Oh, it's too small. Okay. Well, we can maybe blow it up like this. There you go. You'll see this. Boom. Wait till it comes up on the screen. I guess I'm a little bit ahead of you guys, but being the one person that had the foresight to start stacking Bitcoin when it was, 5 cents a coin, 10 cents a coin. And now it's worth $101,000 per coin. Now, not every coin is going to do that. There's a lot of coins that are just horrible. Uh, that'll never, ever amount to anything. And that's a pitfall you really have to stay out of. So every cryptocurrency has what's called a white paper. And if you go to the website I'm using, coinmarketcap.com, you can actually go and read their white paper. I'm going to have to switch so you guys can see that, aren't I? Hold on. Yep. All right. I'm getting a little bit better, faster at this. Let's see. Replace screen with. Yeah, there we go. All right. So I'm going to share this. This is when you guys see it, this will be Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Now, this is what's called a white paper. It gives you an introduction to the coin. Roll down. Transactions, how the transactions work. It goes over all that. Let me blow it up a little bit, even maybe. Boop, boop, boop. There you go. That might be better. You can see it shows you how the transactions work. And then it explains kind of how that hash system works, how the blockchain works with hashing. It tells you that it's a proof of work coin. There's different types of coin. There's proof of work, which Bitcoin is. And then there's proof of stake, which is Ethereum is. That's what Ethereum is. Bitcoin is the top proof of work coin, and then Ethereum is the top work of, I'm sorry, proof of stake. What did I say before? Proof of stake coin. Anyway, it goes through some of the stuff on the network. I'm not going to read all this because you guys can just go to the website and pull it up and read it. But yeah, it goes over everything. It tells you everything you need to know about the coin. Maybe I shouldn't scroll so fast. Might make somebody sick. So it's important to learn how to read one of these white papers. And that way you'll be able to make a much more informed decision on if a cryptocurrency is worth buying for you or not. That's the only way I know to do it. Then you can listen to what other people are saying. What happened? Place with get the guy back here. Oh. And we're back. Okay. So anyway, all right. So it's been about an hour since we've been started this. And tomorrow I am going to come on and I'm going to share one of the faucets that I use with you guys and all the different ways you can use it to earn money, to earn cryptocurrency that you can then sell and turn into money. So I will see you guys then. Thank you so very much for showing up. Donna, you've been a true sport and hanging out with me and listening to me cough my brains out at first, trying to get my voice back together. So thank you very much for showing up. I will practice speaking so that I can talk longer without my throat drying out, hopefully. And we'll have a good show tomorrow. See you guys then. Bye-bye.